Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. It is Friday, and I'm Christopher Dahl, and welcome to our Subterranean Space Art Studios. How's it going, everybody? Got a full house here. Hey, got Edie. Hello, Edie from New York City. We got Houdini Bob. Greetings, Houdini Bob. How's it going this week? Excellent. Wes is here. Hello, Wes. Yes, I'm welcome from Space, Pennsylvania. We are here. Hey, and Raleigh Kingsley here. Raleigh Kelsey. Sorry, Kingsley. Kelsey's here. Greetings. How you doing? Happy Friday. Gotta help the wife bring in the groceries. Well, you better do that. I ain't be eating, I swear. Anyway, yeah. Welcome to Friday from the basement. Hey, it's very cool. Hope you're all having a fantastic week. We're cranking things out here in the Space Art by Christopher Dahl Studios. But yeah, things are rolling right along, and we are going to have a nice Friday afternoon space art hangout. As always, you're welcome to join along in all the fun on our Discord. I'll leave a link here. Forgot to get my links up to the Discord. It's where we do all the announcements and chats. You don't have to, but if you want in on it, let me drop you the old link to the Discord. This is probably the place where you're most likely to hear the updates on shows and things. There we go. And always, if you want to follow along and support the stream, you're welcome to join up on my Patreon. Patreon is also a place where I am posting some of my old webcomics, including Breaking Fitz Law. So there's free options there as well. It's not all paid, but any of this paid subscriptions do go to help supporting the stream and keeping the kitties fed. Thank you so much, everybody. And yep, and of course, Kat, I gotta remember the last one here. We'll get this out of the way, I swear. The great Space Art by Christopher Dahl store, where you could get fine original space art and prints and fun things. There we go. That's all the cool stuff. There we are. All the happy, healthy things. Of course, this stream is sponsored by Space Art by Christopher Dahl. We are sponsoring ourselves. It is reductive. Thank you. Houdini Bob, I have a cat in my lap. Fantastic. I've got about 4 at the door that I'm not going to let in here because I'm going to be doing oil paints today. I don't want kitty paw prints all over the house. Edie says we're getting our March pause weather-wise. We're in the 30s this week after being in the 70s last week. Hey, it's pretty similar to what we've been having going on here. We had a nice warm swing, and we're back going up on it here as well. I don't think if I missed anyone, sorry, my apologies. But hey, yeah, the cats. I was threatening our cat feeding video, so that is coming up soon. I gathered I've got a GoPro, so we're getting that all together. There are cats. The current cat count is 19 indoor cats and 4 outdoor onlys. They're the Old Lady Cat Club, so whatever that comes out to be. Oh God, way too many. They're awesome. Got a good cat community. But you're not here for cats. Forget that. Forget the cats. We are going to have some cool new stuff coming up at the store. Not that that's a requirement, but yeah, going to have a good time. Anyhow, last week, we ended up with... I've been threatening to do the Pillars of Destruction for so long. We finally had that one. It's up on the wall behind me, but it's still... you can see it's the very corner up here of the screen. It's a tiny one, but still drying. I do not wish to disturb it. The oil paints, yes. Those cats need to start a calendar. Oh, good thinking. I know I missed. I feel terrible. We missed the calendar last year. I feel bad. I have plenty of cat photos for the calendar. And apparently a long list of videos to shoot as well. Lurking, I have to go chainsaw out the neighbors who had trees fall. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Oh, I've been hearing it's nuts out there. Well, good luck. Watch out. Be safe with the chainsaw. When we were in the Pacific Northwest, we saw a lot of trees around us fall and had some pretty scary. I never told the girls this, and even Stephanie to a certain degree. I used to look at the trees that surrounded our house, and I'm like, you know what? Pretty much any one of these could split our house in half at any point. But no, we took care of the ones that were the real contenders. Yes. chainsaw your neighbors or the trees? Yeah, good question. On this stream, it might be the neighbors. You know, yeah, going rate for meat these days, neighbor meat. All right, let's switch on over to the table. Here we go. So I have a couple more of these 6-inch by 6-inch canvases, and for those of you on our Patreon, I started these on Sunday. In fact, they're setting up nicely. I did a little demo of the process of laying down oil paints, especially in regards to the nebula that I'm so often painting on the live stream. Boom. Ooh, Houdini Bob says we had heavy thunderstorms midweek. Pea-size hail. Ooh, I hate that. We avoided damage, but we've definitely had some wind. Yeah. Neighbor meat. It's the end times. Neighbor meat's on the menu. Anyhow, so what I want to do is I kind of want to, I feel like these were just kind of laying down some stuff on it. The premise was when you paint wet on wet with oil paints, you get a very different sort of appearance versus if you just throw the paint on fairly dry. And even some of this I had mixed in with some medium to bring it out. But there's just definitely a difference. So that was the demonstration. I find both of these to be appealing starts on maybe our next Pillars of Destruction series. I had a few good ideas. You know, we had good ones. We had some more of the kaiju line. I know we had, oh gosh, my mic is way up there. Oh, my apologies. Holy smoke. I just redlined on the mic. I'm going to bring it down a bit. Sorry about that, everybody. I've been messing with my sound. And if the sound is weird, please feel free to let me know. I think I've isolated the craziness, but if the sound gets weird, it'll go nuts. Anyway, we had some good ideas for more Pillars of Destruction, and I want to pursue that. In fact, if you saw I think I posted the photo of the, I have laid out this is like my canonical, I laid out another tray of oils. I actually went through and finished through all the ones that we started last week. The nice part about oils, this is the part I like about it, is that, these aren't going to dry out overnight. You can come back to it and so I might not have cats, but I certainly have cat hair from the looks of it. Jeez, I tell you can't get away from here. We are in the basement, and I'm near enough to a vent where it just gets blown through. It's no big deal. All right, so what I'm gonna do is we're gonna. I actually took some photos. I'm gonna do a Patreon post talking about the palette that I've chosen, and this one's pretty much everything. And obviously in small quantities, but we're just going to be working on a couple of these anyway, so I thought I would bring that along. And for our medium this week, I'm trying out, Gamlen's got this solvent-free fluid. Alkyd is the resin base and safflower. So far, I've been enjoying this. Cat hair adds to the impasto, exactly. You gotta tie in the cat hair nebula with them. Hey, Raoul Duke is here. Greetings, happy Friday, Raoul Duke. How's it going? Welcome back aboard here. We're just getting rolling. Fantastic. So yeah, I'm gonna continue working on this. I like this this medium so far. So far, it's been giving me good results. The other one I would typically use is Liquid Original, which I do enjoy. This, it has similar properties, speeds up drying, gives you a gloss, etc., thins down your paint, which can be a little thick. This one doesn't have the solvent, so a little easier on the nose. Although I do not, it's still an issue. I forgot to open the vents in here, so I might do that maybe in a few minutes after the break. We'll see what happens. Anyhow. Yeah, happy Friday. So we're gonna get going. I'm gonna start working these up. I painted these Sunday. They're still tacky. They're a little tacky, but they're not bad. They've set up enough to the point where I am gonna just prepare them and go. So, all right, let's get things rolling. Oh yes, and of course our drink of choice has been, pardon me, squeak. There we go. drink of choice this week has been coffee. And we have it in the Space Pig mug. Thank you, Rhonda. Always a favorite here. Just coffee. That's all. Yeah. Acrylics dry so fast that I always feel rushed. When I use alkyds, I feel like I can relax and breathe. Yeah, it's it's a big difference between the two. I think those panties look great. Not thank you, thank you. I like them too. Actually, I like them a lot. In fact, I really I like both of them. I don't find this to be necessarily a problem. I just it depends on what you're trying to do. Yes. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of keep working them, and we're gonna. Or are you suggesting I should just leave these as they are and start different ones instead of continue on these? That would. I kind of wanted to turn these into some more of our. I was kind of thinking I was going to do a second Godzilla, and I was debating doing like Ghidorah for this one. Although this one might be better for Ghidorah. This has the three spectacular sort of. Yeah, actually, I think this one would be better for Ghidorah because I can also do it this way, or yeah. Oh heck yeah. Yeah, start a new one. You really like the right one? Okay, I will not. I'm gonna leave these alone. On request. Right. I have alternate. Da, da, da. Hang tight. Dun, 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 dun. Da, dun, bum, 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 ba, da, bum. Ooh, I'm gonna do this one. All right. This actually could be a lot of fun because I have a couple of others. So I'd originally intended. I actually. That's right. I forgot this one. This one I'd started something. I think they look great the way they are. Edie says, but they're yours. Do what you like. Oh no, I'm good. I have many, so it's okay. Actually, I grabbed this one, but I have a plan for this, so that's going to get set aside. I have this one, but I also have the 4x6s here, which are already set up with a nice yellow toned gesso. I think we could have some serious fun with these. So I think I'm going to do. I'm going to take this one. We'll start here, and as you can see, these are smaller canvases. So we're just gonna let's just have some fun. Let's fire it up, and have some fun. Wait, today you're correctly Kaiju Nebula painting. Yes. Oh, sorry, mediocre. I saw you mention earlier. Greetings. How you doing? Hey. I saw you tackling the AMT reissue Eagle from Space 1999. Congratulations. That is a. I've climbed that mountain a few times. Kaiju Nebula paintings. Yeah, I did a. Well, I'll show you what we got going on here. It was the Pillars of Destruction was last week. So it's on the wall behind me, but it's still drying. I don't want to, smush it. So here we go. All right. I need a cup, and I am going to put a little bit of my solvent in this one. There we go. So yeah, there was it was a lot of fun. I think there's room for more. I definitely think there's room for more of them. So that's the solvent, and then I need some of my linseed oil. Yeah, we're losing my mind. I thought of a few. It's sort of a series of what do you call them? Objects in space, nebula, galaxies, that sort of thing. But with obscure titles. It's messed up. The guy's lost his mind. I swear. No, I haven't. My mind is perfectly fine. I don't know what you're talking about. All right. Yes, he has. All right. I'm gonna just. It's too long. Finding myself a brush that I would like to deal with here. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna work with this one. Righto. So I get a little bit of my solvent, or yeah. I'm gonna grab just a bit of this. Here we go. I want to get sort of a layer down across the entire surface here. Jon Snow just went sound asleep. I'm stuck until he decides to wake. Well, we don't. We absolutely do not want to awaken Jon Snow. Not by any means. So yes, good move. Good move. All right, there we go. So yeah, I'm going to prepare this one the same way I prepared the same from last week. This is a canvas that I had previously. I think I put one of the blackest of all black, like black 4.0 or something on it. I think, if I'm not mistaken. And then yeah, this we're going to do a little bit more of that. It's weird. This thing's just I think this was like black 3 or black 4.0. Man, it's really sucking down the fluid that I'm putting on this. It's like weirdly going straight through the paint. Which, oh god. So the Stewart the Culture Hustle paints. That's what I was talking about. I had some of those. I'll bet they are a terrible base for oils, is what I'm wondering. I'll have to see how this one holds out. I mean, it is just acrylic with a whole bunch of pigment, but it's loaded. We'll see how it goes. Vanta Black. It's the it's the other the other version of Vanta Black. It is the please don't use Vanta Black. That's the best way I could put that. All right. Let me just get myself set up here. Okay. Well, that's just not going to work the way I wanted it to. There we go. All right. I had this idea set up, but yeah. Nothing ever exactly works out the way you think it's going to in practice. So, all right. I think what I'd like to do, I'm going to take these out again. Cool. Just out of view, I realize, but I'll pull the colors down so you can actually see what it is I'm working on. I want to get a little bit of my medium down in here. The polar opposite of Vanta White. Exactly. So what I'm first going to do is I'm going to take a dark color now, and I'm gonna work this in. I've got an indigo. This is Indanthrene blue. It's a very, very dark, like it's the same color as it's a semi-transparent color. But I'm going to get this on the edges of our painting here, because this is kind of a fun trick. This is one that I learned from Bob Ross and friends. Yeah. You're not going to see this color until other colors start interacting with it. That's the goal here. You get a whole bunch of this stuff down, and yeah, there we go. Alrighty. Moving it up so we can see what's going on here. So now I'm going to take I'm going to start working in I really love this cobalt teal. I think that's what this color is, cobalt teal. Yeah, I posted a photo in our Discord of the. Did I post that in there? I think I did. Yeah. If not, I'll do it right after this. This is sort of a canonical paint palette that I'm using today. So that is our yeah. Get a little bit more here. I wonder if Vanta Black would defeat radar scopes if you painted your car with it. It's a very I was doing some research on Vanta Black. Here we go. Let's get some of this in here. We're gonna. Oh, now okay. Before I work too far, I have to think through the shape here. Anyway, Vanta Black. Vanta Black is it does have an uncannily dark effect. It sucks up light, like as it would sound. In person, it's spectacular to witness. You really do have to see it in person. Photographs won't do it justice. But to get this effect, you basically build a matrix on an almost microscopic or molecular, not microscopic, yeah, microscopic layer of particles, or orderly black pigment particles, and you do it with science and chemistry, which is fine. Let's work this on here. Science and chemistry is great. It is very toxic chemistry, apparently. Yeah. Now, in all of these cases, in all these painting cases, I should say, as I'm working through here and getting some color down, I am not referencing what the critter is that I'm attempting to depict. I'm just going off of my memory. So there we go. We're just gonna do the thing. Now I'm using this this cobalt teal in here. Actually, let me see if I can bring this a little closer. There we go. And there we are. Bring us a little closer. There we are. Ooh, is it there we are. A little bit better. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, so I'm depicting something here. I'm not referencing it. I'm just going off of my memory. Anyhow, Vanta Black. Back to Vanta Black. Yes, you won't get poisoned by being in the vicinity of it. But apparently it's toxic enough to the point where it's pretty heinous to put on. All right, let's get this. I think I'm going to pull this over this way. There we go. Grabbing some of this. All right. There we go. Edie says Bob Ross. Oh yeah, the Bob Ross story. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Yeah, there was a Netflix. Is it Netflix? I forget. Someone had a documentary about that. It was pretty nuts. All right, here we go. And I'm also going to use a little bit of, I've got some cerulean blue here too that I want to pull in to this. I'm really just working my blues on this one first. All right, here we go. Well, I'm in no danger of letting some other couple step in and take all of our fortunes. It wasn't an old couple, it was all the cats. All right, I'm gonna try to get the edges here a little bit here. All right, besides I've got plenty of paint in my brush here, so I'm gonna just work this out. I think I'm gonna have to build a shell about it. Anyway, Vanta Black, yes. So here's the deal: Vanta Black stays the blackest black as long as nothing ever touches it. I gotta move some things to get the light on here. There we go. Rhonda calls it. Yes. Remember the 4:30 movies in the afternoon where every day they would do another monster. It was Monster Week. That was it. Yes, that was it. That was my favorite. That was one of my favorites. How you doing, Rhonda? Hey, we got your mug. I brought Space Pig back again. We're Space Pig coffeeing it. I love it. But yeah. Nope. Let's see. So yeah, the married couple that basically took everything over and ruined his life. Yeah, we're in no danger of falling down that trap. I promise. I mean, they could try, but I mean, look. What? All of this? No way. All right, I'm gonna grab a little bit of magenta, getting this on in here. I know I should. This is bugging me. I need a better way of showing off the paint that I'm actually using. Still not here. I saw nothing. All right, here we go. Partnering with others isn't a good idea. I feel like in generalizing like that is a little. I mean, yeah, you got to be careful, right? You always have to be careful, but yeah, there's still room for partnering with people and forming trustful bonds, especially where mutual benefit can occur and everything. I mean, that's fine. It's just be smart about it and track what you do. I've formed and worked on projects in partnership capacity a number of times, and I've actually had it work out okay. So yeah, and I'm. Hey Chad, if any of you worked with me in the past, if you've worked with me in the same building, I could be such a pleasure to work with all the time. Yeah, the unlikeliest of easy to get along with, right? Yeah. Okay, we're not gonna go there. I got to throw it a little bit. I got to get my greens in. So to do that, I am using a bit of um, raw sienna. I think that's what that is. Yeah, I think this is raw sienna. We're gonna just sort of work this on in a bit, and I'm not gonna go too far with this, but I am gonna bring it in. Oh, I don't want to touch any of this up here. I'm not done up here yet. Okay, I can't do any of this paint on here. In fact, this is probably premature for me to go into the greens. I'm so sorry. It was premature. I didn't mean to. We'll get through it. It starts looking like a Ralph Bakshi cartoon at this point. Yeah. Okay. Enough of that. Put that on here. Lay that down. I need a scrubby of some kind. And my scrubby from last week is this little one right here. Okay, let me just see. Oh, I just dropped a hair. Yeah, that's doomed. There, a bristle just fell on this. Let's go ahead and see what we can do. Maybe I can get that bristle off. I doubt it, but oh, I really got this wet. I really, yeah, I really got this wet. There's a whole litany of maneuvers you need to take into account when you're working with oil paint, so that you don't get paint everywhere. And I was out of practice the last time I was working with these, and I walked away last week from our live stream, and everything I touched had some splot of paint on it. It was so annoying. Oh my gosh! I couldn't find it anywhere. It was nuts. Are you going to mount these square ones on a grid, or are they standalone? These ones are standalone, Edie. These will be standalone. Raoul Duke says, "What's the song you used to play in your stream about wanting to live in a?" Forget the name of the artist. Oh, Chesley Bonestell. That's right. Oh, I miss being over on Twitch where I could do that. Damn it. I would. Although I don't know, that one I should check, because that one might. I should check the rights on it. That one might be available on here. Chesley Bonestell Dream is what that one was. Oh gosh, my show was so much better with music. I get annoyed. I mean, yeah. When I do make a big change, like from Twitch to YouTube, I have a running list of what was better, what was good, what wasn't so great, and having music was a lot of fun. So anyway, even just some background music, I found some really good tracks on Epidemic Sound, which I had been subscribed to for a while, but had to sort of give it up for a little bit. So I'm hoping to come back to it. But there were some good tracks on there that were basically you had royalty rights to use them, as long as you had the subscription. And actually, I played a bunch of them during some of the streams. Yeah, good stuff. I do miss the music though. I wasn't exactly I was using the same cheat Smaceron was using. Okay, it was I learned it from Smace. Smaceron, if you're watching, yeah, I'm throwing you under the bus, pal. No, it wasn't just you. No, it was I knew he was doing the same thing. I had looked up the way to send it, and it made it fun. Thanks for showing me how to pronounce Bonestell's last name. Chesley Bonestell. Yes. That song, by the way, was made for the documentary about Chesley Bonestell. What was the name of that documentary? I gotta remember what the name of that documentary was. Which I highly recommend if you like space art and are interested in that sort of thing. Um, very good, very good documentary. He did some fantastic work, right? So Chesley Bonestell was an illustrator, artist who really came up with um, many of sort of the iconic looks of like planetary surfaces and the space program way back in the day. That was the one. Yeah, it's cool time, cool time. Boom. All right, I need some. I need this thing. I want to work this a little bit. I really love how delicate you can actually be and get some really great effects with oils when you're working like this. This has been kind of fun. Anyhow, and I'm just gonna work these in down here, and we'll just bring it up as we go. Mediocre says, my brother just sent a link where Quentin Tarantino was talking about the beautiful cinematography of the movie Rodan. I haven't seen Rodan probably since like I was a kid, right? I haven't actually seen the original one. But I knew a couple of them had some pretty unique photography to them. That's interesting. Yeah, I love it, and I love that there's kind of there's definitely a new appreciation for some of these things. Things that would have just been the just sort of treated as one-off bits of ridiculous entertainment, which they are, but in a good way. They're great love for these movies. Because the folks that worked on them certainly took it seriously and had fun with what they did. Okay, water, coffee or water, one of the two. Here we are, underway with a little dashing spectacle of. We have to come up with a new designation. Wes, we need a new GSM series. Wait, what was it GSM? I love the GS. I think it was GSC 1959 was the one last week, which I still think is beautiful. All right, so I'm going to pull up. What am I going to do? What direction I want to go in this one next? Let's see. I think I would like. I need something brighter. I need something a little bright, so I'm going to grab a touch of white. Okay. I would like a bit of this raw sienna, a little bit of yellow, not a lot, just a touch. Too much? And yeah, I would. Oh boy, I'm almost tempted. Yeah, I'll throw a little bit in. Okay, cool. I want this grayed down just a bit. I just need sort of a warmer version, not going entirely to green. That's what we needed right there. Okay, cool. All right. Crap. I always do that. I always pick one of these that I don't really. Yeah. Anyway. There we go. Probably low-hanging fruit of a comment, but Roger Dean was always a personal favorite. Oh my gosh, right? Roger Dean. I love that Roger Dean has been. I follow him on Facebook. I followed him on Facebook for a while. I'm still on Facebook. God, tell me, say no. Roger Dean did some live streams, and he was kind of showing off his style. It was pretty cool. I've seen a couple of them. It's really I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was pretty nifty. And yeah, I'm glad that I'm glad that he took Cameron to town for basically drafting off of his artistic style without kind of even so much as a how do you do. So yeah, that was really cool. All right. So I need sort of the edges of this. There we are. I'm going to put these kind of in there. And then, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah. I adore working with oils when they work for me. Okay. Doing what I wanted. Doing what I wanted. Oh, too much. Too much. Too much. Bastard. Way too far. There we go. Okay. Did someone steal his art? Well, so here's how it worked. Hey, Dave Fletcher, how you doing, Dave? Greetings. Welcome aboard and happy Friday. We're in the midst of some oil paint. Yeah, talk about Roger Dean. So the movie Avatar comes out, right? And even when I was sitting in the theater, I'm looking at like a lot of the footage and scenery, and I'm like going, this looks like an Asia. It looks like an Asia poster, right? It looks like a Yes album. Especially in any of the parts where they're like flying through and there's floating islands, that sort of thing. I'm like, hey, this just looks like And apparently Roger Dean thought so too. So had a little chat. They had a little chat. Roger was that James Cameron says, "Fuck off! No, we're gonna do whatever we want." And Roger Dean said, "Well, hello, here's my attorney," and they had at it. So and Roger Dean won. It took a while. It probably was terribly expensive, but if you see the Avatar movies now, they now include a nice little healthy hello to the work of Roger Dean. As it should have, because I'm sorry, any of us that have been anywhere remotely close to the industry in any capacity are gonna be like, well, of course, yeah, you did that. Look at it. Just have you seen the movie? It's like you can't walk away from this. Good artist copy, great artist steal. It was a lot of that, but it's like, yeah. See, I don't. Let's pretend for a moment that Christopher Dahl is making Avatar. I am in James Cameron's shoes, and I'm looking at the design work, and I'm going, oh my God, this totally, I've got this fantastic group of design art slaves who all worship me because I'm great. I'm being James Cameron here. I'm not, I'm pretending. This is acting, right? Like, this is really fantastic, you guys. It all looks like an Asia album. Yeah, we were kind of inspired by blah 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 blah. Cool. All right. First thing you do, you get on the horn, you get your art department down there, and you contact the office of Roger Dean, who is still a fucking working artist. Hey, get in here. We need some. We want you in on this, right? Anyway. My slaves are stealing your style and they're doing a good job of it, but we'd love to have you in for the party. And then you bring him in and you do videos of it and you create a good fortune for everybody and it's happy. I don't know. That would have been my thing. I'd have been like, yeah, you guys did a great job on this art team, but you're not really Roger Dean, so we're gonna go get the real Roger Dean. No, that's really rude too. Yeah, I worked for 6 months on this project for Christopher Dahl pretending he was Jim Cameron, and he said, hey, it shit looks okay, but we're going to go get the real artist that did it. Fuck you. No. Okay, this is all just play acting. None of this actually happened, everybody. I just want to be clear. Okay, this is all hypothetical. All right, you're just... We're developing the snout and the nebula are kind of they're nebulous, right? So we're working the system. We're working it. Gosh, I can't even wrap my head around being given the kind of budget that Avatar, any of the Avatar movies get. I can imagine. Hey, Mr. Dahl, here you go. All right. Make any movie you want right here. Go. Oh, awesome. Well, I'm going to do a crazy cartoon of life in my offices, and so we need some animators. Yeah. Where's the line between drawing inspiration and influence and copying? Um, Good question. I think that's why it especially in the especially in the case of Avatar, you had there were some I don't recall the particulars of the case, but Raul Duke, there were some where it was just like, oh man, oh hey, come on. There, even when you look through the archive material of the movie that was presented in like the making of books and everything, right? So tricky call. I have made some paintings, for instance, that I will absolutely say, yeah, this is me taking a swipe at John Berkey's style, and sometimes they sell, which is great, but I'm always careful to say, yeah, this is me absolutely riffing on it, and it feels even a little weird for me. Cameron also stole from from Fern Gully. Oh yeah, that was there. Yeah, there was a lot. There was definitely a lot in that about it. I forgot about that. You're right. Um, which there's kind of no excuse at that scale, right? Um, I mean, yeah, I don't know. it's it was very strange. To me, when I looked at the materials, and this has been about 7 years or so, it's been longer than that. I remember looking at it, going, yeah, heck yeah." There was little doubt, right? Anyway, when does it stop being just an homage, right? When is it like just participating in a style versus a specific artist or a specific application through a movie, which of course by other artists, if you will. So yeah. All right. Our Ghidra would not be any good if we didn't have a certain amount of there we go. As musicians, there are a number of bands you listen to where you say these guys are heavily influenced by X band, and then there's others, Greta Van Fleet, that are just a blatant ripoff. Yeah, it's a very similar, yeah, very similar problem, right? In music, and you see it the same way. When does it stop being an homage, a riff on a style? When does it start being just a blatant, yeah, this is off, right? Tricky call. All right, let's see if we can't. Yay! Definitely, I honestly think Battlestar was better than Star Wars in a lot of ways. Oh, it's fun. There were Oh, wait a second. Were you Mormon? No, I'm just kidding. Terrible joke. No. Yeah, actually, I feel like there was a very different background to Battlestar, right? I feel like maybe one of the reasons why it Battlestar gets so often brought up as we're gonna redo it. It has a lot. It with very little in terms of the act of the story. It opens up a whole universe. I thought that I would agree. Like there's a whole lot of stuff I wanted to see in both the old and the newer Battlestar that of that world that we never would have really have saw. Yeah. BSD was way more complex. Love Star Wars, but it distills down to a basic good versus evil story. Yeah, and if you were familiar with Akira Kurosawa, it gets even more distilled down than that. Both orphans who became fighter pilots. Yeah, that's right. In the original Battlestar Galactica, I do remember that. Yeah, they were definitely going out of their way to make the original Starbuck an orphan. It becomes a character point because I think in the show, uh, Bing, I forget, Bing Crosby was Bing, yeah, that they got to play as action, his dad, even though he turned out to kind of not be. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I'm having so much fun watching the Katie Sackhoff rewatch of her Galactica because she's never seen it, which is occurring um, on her YouTube channel and on her Patreon. Yes. I'm trying to dance this thing in gently. I have a pattern I'm working with in my brain, but it's if you remember, had Ghidra had like the flame breath, or the lightning flame breath thing going on. So we're definitely working this one. Yeah. For me, the BSG remake, the times got too far into religiosity. Yeah, I agree. I was like, okay, especially into season 4 and towards the end, they were really leaning into it quite a bit, and you know, it wasn't. I feel like it worked for their story eventually. I think it worked out pretty well for them. Yeah, like I say, eventually. um, what I ended up I'm not prone to any I don't particularly care for it or its depiction. I just feel like it's overpowered so much of our culture, but it also speaks a lot to the human condition. You're never going to get away from it because we are humans and we are all prone to having at least some exposure to it. So the commenting on it is perfectly cool in my book. What I did like about it that I didn't expect to like about it, and I'm talking specifically about like sort of the religious spiritual aspect of it and how they handled it in the new BSG was uh, I liked that it was vague, right? I loved that it was so it kind of gets into the Arthur C. Clarke isms of once you encounter something that is so far advanced over what you have, you just don't even know. You can't really comprehend what it's doing. I'll have to check it out. I love the remake. I think it captured the military flight line well. You spent a lot of time in the Air Force, so it hit home. Oh, that's I've heard that from folks that were in the Navy as well, David. That was yeah, I feel like they really leaned in on that well. Yes. I I'm not. I'm probably pretty close to a Battlestar rewatch right now. I get through it a couple of times every year or two. But yeah. Oh, you were the weapons load crew. Oh, cool. So you were what did they call them in oh, was it in BSG they call that they call them Nugget. Oh wait, no, Nuggets were the flight trainees. Oh, they had something for the deckhands. Oh, hey, Houdini Bob said you were avionics. Cool. Hey, Edward Bartlett's here. Greetings. Hello, Edward. How you doing today? How's it going? Pointy head. Nice. Yeah, the rivalries abound. That was so great. It's really cool. Hey, welcome aboard, everybody. We're on a Friday here. We are painting more of our Pillars of Destruction series. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, good time. So we have a new nebula. We're going to need a new designation for this one. Yeah, the pointy head. It's hilarious. I love it. We're going to need a new designation for some of these. All right, cool. Let me get in some. Need some of this. Bum, 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 bum. Da, 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 da. So I've got some. This is a burnt sienna. It gets a little darker, so we're going in a little darker on the color scheme and in the oranges. We're gonna see if we can get this in here. And then a little bit of the burnt umber to really go dark in the orange there. There we go. I'm following the same color scheme as the canonical Hubble shot of the pillars. And I'm doing that just because it's fun, right? Raleigh says, as a former Navy aircraft mechanic, the BSG crew banter was almost identical to your crew in real life. Oh, that's so cool. I love it. That is really fun. Having seen the props close up, it really looks like they were they were cleaving heavy into modern avionics and the military. That was fun. Hoodie Bob said F-111s we call the weapons guys BB stackers. I love that, the BB stackers. Cool. All right, we're just gonna pull this in here a little bit. The hope here is that I can sort of get a feel for nebulosity. I love the F-111. I worked B-1. Oh, the B-1. Yep. And the F-16. We were called load toads mostly. I got to tell you, the F-16, I still think is a gorgeous airframe. I watched a guy playing DCS, Growling Sidewinders, who's called. I used to watch him pretty regularly, and he flew the F-16 a lot. I just watched it because I think the plane's gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, same with the F-111. Oh, F-111, that was cool. That was like the F-111 was like the big brother F-14 of the F-14 Tomcat, right? I think the F-14. I forget which one came first. I think the F-111 came first in the lineage. Yeah, I thought those are very cool. Yeah. B1 is gorgeous too. Yes, it is. The B1 has some really cool lines. Especially when they had posters for a while of one of the B1s flying over a lake, just cleaving a huge trail of sonic, a wall of water from the sonic boom or something, and it was I was like, damn. Oh, there we go. Yes, in another life, maybe I was an aircraft artist. I think the forms are beautiful, honestly. Yeah, that could have been fun. I transitioned to F-16s, and I did hear that. Oh, fun. I love the B-1 flyover at the Super Bowl. Very cool. Yeah, I think the B-1 is definitely one of the is definitely an underrated airframe. I feel like it kind of got its what to say, reputation got a little tarnished because it was on again, off again for a while, and obviously the design shifted in between it, but it really turned out to be a fabulous. Oh, whoop! I'm screwing up here, folks. You should Google Aussie and F-111 dump and burn. Oh, cool. It'd be dangerous. It'll be dangerous for me to do that. Rats. I just munched this little area right here. I just munged into mud. So I'm gonna brighten this up again. Oh, I'm so bugged. Anyway, I'll rescue it. We'll get there. Stealth planes look very weird and science fiction-y. Yeah. Dave says, I miss the chrome planes from the 1950s. Oh, man, chrome planes. Seriously, right? Like, just the F-104 Starfighter. There are a couple of planes, fighter jets, airplanes that I absolutely very much want to build a model of, and the F-104 Starfighter is absolutely one of them. Yeah. All right, I'm going to mix myself up a little black here. I'm not going to use any black out of the tube, even though I have some. I'm going to take a little bit of my burnt umber here, and I'm going to add... What am I going to use on this one? I think I'm going to add the The indigo. Yeah, my indanthrene. I think that'll get me a nice, and maybe just a touch of magenta. Just a touch to really bring it over the edge there. All right, there we go. Yeah, it gets a little purple. Yeah, maybe too much. All right, we'll do a little more. Yeah, I'm gonna do a little indanthrene and maybe a touch of phthalo, just for good measure. There we are. It's I know it probably just looks like black on the camera, but to me I can see the color distribution of it as I'm mixing it. There we go. That was better. That did the trick. Cool. Went to the National Air Force Museum in Dayton a year back, so it must be a must go for any aviation enthusiast. Dayton is not that far from where I live. I could probably make that a day there. It'd be a couple of days just to do the drive and have time to do the museum. I last visited that museum probably in the 80s. It was before they moved like the Valkyrie and a few of their other planes inside a building. They were outdoors last time I was there. I am so overdue to go to that. I would agree. Oh, pull this back in so we can kind of see it. There we go. All right, I'm gonna grab a little bit of this. Now I'm gonna see if I can't work in some, yeah, not entirely black, but very, very dark. One of the things I miss about being in in and around the Seattle area, of course, is the ability to have been able to go to the Museum of Flight on the drop of a hat. And yeah, I loved the museum. I loved the Museum of Flight. It had some model shows there when I was when we lived there. Our model club got regularly went to their scale model shows. Yeah, that was a very good. That's a good museum there too. I think I'm doing Ghidra looking a little bit like a yeah, okay, so if no one had guessed, this one is going to be the Ghidra, the three-headed monster one, and as always, it's not a direct interpretation of the Ghidra. Yeah. I'm going to grab some of this. There we go. That's it. And then the same. Ghidra had wings, so I have to get in a hint of wings in this one. Very important. And it's like constellations. It doesn't look exactly like the thing. Will any of these small ones be in your shop? Absolutely, yes. I'm Houdini Bob. I will put these in the shop. Tell you what, I will post them probably over the weekend, and I will give you all a heads up about them. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, as always, I've been I haven't updated my shop enough, and there are some updates coming. In fact, actually, right now I have I've added a couple of pages for Breaking Fitz Law, my webcomic, and Space Frog. I'm starting a new page for the cats, the cat rescue, if you will, and yeah, we're gonna have a good time with it. We're gonna have a good time with that. So yeah, I'll give you a heads up. Thank you. All right. Now then, I'm going to see about getting some orange into this painting here. Let's see if we can't liven this up a bit. I want to increase some of the color in here, especially on this side, because it needs to sort of read as if there's destruction occurring, right? I mean, Ghidra blasting the buildings. I just watched Gamera versus the Knifehead Kaiju Gairon. I want to draw a version of him. Oh, that movie. Those movies. I so loved those characters. You know, I actually kind of, when I was younger, I actually got scared by that particular movie, which is hilarious. When you look at them now, you're like, who would have gotten scared by these goofball looking monsters? But if you haven't seen that before, that sort of thing before, it was terrifying. Anyway, I love that movie. It's that and Gaius or Gauss, whatever they call them. The atomic, laser firing crazy bat looking bird, right? That one terrified me. I don't know why. Maybe it's because they hinted that Gauss would eat humans, like ate their blood, right? It became very apparent that was a vampire like monster. Yeah, terrified me. And I think that one also makes an appearance in the knife faced. He's just a pet, right? Gyron shot little stars out of his head, if I remember. Me too, but it was in fact the alien people were going to eat the kid's brains. Oh, that's right, they were going to eat his brains. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, that was horrifying, right? I mean, oh, geez. It's just a kid's show. Don't let them sit around the TV and watch it, Mom. Having nightmares for weeks of these alien women wanting to eat the kids' brains. Oh, you just received Jump Gate 5. Looks better in person. Oh, thank you, Houdini. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I am so glad. That one, I actually had seen Jump Gate 5 in print form, so my confidence level was high, but it always terrifies me when I put a new one in. Thank you. That's so great. It's amazing how you can be terrified when you're young, and now you're just like, what's the big deal? I know. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, there are definitely going to be some new paintings in the shop coming up here, folks. Both new originals and some new prints. All right, now I'm going in with the cadmium red light. This is really what's the word I'm looking for? This is unfair. Cadmium red light, especially when you got so many blues in a painting, is truly an unfair advantage, right? Because it's gonna pop right off the thing. Yeah, I didn't get a lot of the reds in our last one, but we're gonna do some in here because it's Ghidra. It's 3 of them, right? Boom. Mediocre says the F-117 is like the Tesla truck of the fighters. It'll get you there, and it'll get the job done, but it's not pretty, and you'll probably have some raccoons camping out thinking it's a dumpster, right? All right, this one got a little out of hand, so I'm gonna darken this one up a bit. Bam, bam, and bam. There we go. Bringing that on back in. Boom, and down in there too. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's better. There we go. House of Dark Shadows movie scared me. Hey, yeah. Oh, well, that was terrifying, Brad. Oh my gosh. How you doing, Brad? Good to see you, pal. That's fun. Yeah. Oh man. House of Dark Shadows. The very first movie I remember actually seeing that wasn't like a cartoon was the original black and white Day the Earth Stood Still. And it's also the very first movie that gave me a nightmare that I specifically remember being a nightmare because I saw the movie. Yeah, there was black and white movie. That's all it took, right? Didn't expect it, but I think it was playing on TV at the time. I think that's what was happening with it. Yeah. All right, I am going to grab, I need a brighter color, so I'm going to grab some white. And I'm just going to work it in with some of our other, a little warmth to it. A little bit of warmth. There we go. That's it. I am resisting using straight white on this one until we get to the stars. No, even then, I don't think I'm going to use straight white even then. We will see. Boom, 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 boom. I think I've mentioned this on the stream before, but the old Johnny Quest cartoon, when they had like a They had the invisible monster that the only way they could see it was they could throw bags of paint on it. And it was like this one-eyed, ghostly-looking thing. You know, we're talking like Scooby-Doo level rendering and drawings of the monster. And I was like, no way, that was absolutely the most terrifying thing. And it was. Also nightmares. And yeah, you look at it now and it's like, what? You got to be kidding. I actually showed that to my daughters, right? I was like, hey, this thing scared me. And they're like, Dad, are you serious? I mean, you know, I know times are different, but are you like serious? Yeah. It was pretty funny. Like, Dad, he's lost it. He's lost it. I think this one has to be like this. And oh, that's way too way too wet. Way too wet. There we go. Let's see if I can dance this around through here. There we go. Hey, it's Domenico from Palermo. Greetings. How are you? The spider. That's welcome aboard and happy Friday. Excellent. Welcome. Forgive my Americanization of your name. I probably just butchered it. I was reading it fast. I'm sorry. Excellent. Love Johnny Quest. Hoodie Bob says, Monster from the Id from Forbidden Planet. Oh, that one did it. Yes, it did. Oh, yeah. Yep. But yeah, the Johnny Quest had some. Yeah, that's right. Oh, the spider. Yeah, the spider eye robot was the baddie. That's right. And I loved how in Venture Brothers they were like, oh, break out the spider eye. They had the spider eye robot in storage or something. It was it was just cracking me up. I loved it. Edie says, Alien scared the heck out of me, and it's still scary. All the sequels, though, really, really suck. The original Alien is absolutely on my short list of some of the best movies of all time. Alien doesn't just stay in my mind in the best science fiction movies. It absolutely, in my book, is one of the best movies of all time. Just the way I roll. I have a very weird sense of what's good and bad, much to the annoyance of my friends that would be like, no way, no way, that's not going to be on there. That's reserved for like Citizen Kane and Metropolis and yeah. Anyway, that's all good. Twin Cam 7, greetings, agent of the West. How you doing? Very cool. Alrighty, there's fun. Oh, Mediocre says, I drove by Knob Noster Air Force Base all the time. Occasionally see the A-10s flying by. They are so cool. Yes, they are. A-10s are nuts. Ciao a tutti. Awesome. That is fantastic. I like A-10s too. Yeah, that there's a plane that was just ridiculous and fun. I think that, you know, unless you happen to be on the receiving end of it. So there we go. Voodoo Bomb says A10 was the best AC in inventory for his job. Down the mud for ground support. Yes, indeed. My growling sidewinder pal, the guy that I watch, he's flying those on there too, and it's the closest I'm ever going to get to ever flying anything like that. So I may have to work on a DCS setup at some point when, you know, time permitting. Right, that could be a lot of fun. I took a date to see Alien in high school. Never went on another date with her. Hey, good move. You know, she probably remembers it now, like, oh, I did see that movie Alien. Oh my gosh. And, you know, that's so funny. I wasn't quite 17 when Alien came out. So unfortunately, I did not see it in the theater. It was that was for me a video experience only. Yeah. That's what do we do, you know? Let me see. I had a really cool steady girlfriend in high school, and she knew that I was absolutely a like sci-fi movie nerd. So if she and I had gone to the movies, it would not have been controversial to. So yeah, I get it. Neighbor rescue, taking a break, awesome. And you have um, all the limbs are intact. That's very good, awesome. For those of us that were there, remember Smacetron doing some really creative chainsaw artwork. I remember that very well. Crap, it's a series I'm gonna have to buy. Yeah, yeah, maybe. Boom. Let's see. Yeah, she remembers me as that weird guy into sci-fi. You won. Yeah, sorry, Tasty Whale. I was gonna do more of them. Yours is it's almost dry, I swear. I've never seen 2001 or Blade Runner original. Which one should I watch tonight? Blade Runner, Raoul Duke, 100%. Opinions vary on whether or not the version of Blade Runner with his voiceover is better. If you have access to the final cut or the director's cut of Blade Runner, do that. I will say this. I absolutely love 2001: A Space Odyssey. It is also in one of my top 10 movies of all time, bar none, science fiction or otherwise. Along with Blade Runner. Strangely enough. Yeah, do Blade Runner. You'll probably have a better time with Blade Runner. I don't know. I mean, you might. I feel like I love 2001: A Space Odyssey. Anyway, yeah. Mediocre says there's an animated Gamera series called Gamera: The Rebirth. They revisit some of the original Gamera monsters in the. I think okay. I thought maybe I had seen clips of that monster being animated, so maybe I should check that out. That could be fun. My limbs! The tree isn't that fortunate. Awesome. The director's cut of Blade Runner. It's missing the private eye voiceover. Yeah, that's the one. Unpopular opinion, I don't mind Harrison Ford's voiceover. Yeah, Twin Cam 7, me neither. Honestly, when it comes to Blade Runner, I'm not particularly religious about it. I don't mind the voiceover, and I liked it. I liked it better when I before I knew that it was just like, kind of forced on Harrison Ford, and he sort of read it weirdly, and yet it works, and it has its own charm. And to me, it feels like a different movie. It really feels like a totally different movie with the voiceover and without. So, yeah. I like Dark Room, Director's Cut Blade Runner, full sound system, don't anyone bother me, I'm turning it up. Yes, that is my, you've probably met people who were like, yeah, I like listening to Pink Floyd The Wall in a dark room with headphones on. Yeah, that's me with Blade Runner. I love everything about it. The music, the sound effects, the whole thing. Studio execs dictated to have a voiceover. Yep, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Watch the original as intended. Well, that's the funny thing about it, though. The original is the technically the original is the one with the voiceover. That's what we all saw in the theater. So yeah. The director's cut also has a little bit. He refined a few things that were kind of awkward in the original. In the original movie, which in my opinion, I think is an improvement. So in my mind, I like the director's cut. Rutger Hauer was so good. Oh my gosh. Oh yes, I watched sea beams glisten. Oh geez, yeah. I'm gonna have to watch Blade Runner again. I swear, I'm gonna have to watch Blade Runner again. Sorry, Stephanie, I'm gonna have to watch Blade Runner again. I have this rotating list of movies that I pretty much very religiously watch every couple of every year or two, and it's been a while since I've seen Blade Runner. I've got it. I do not have a 4K Blu-ray player yet, but when I do, the very first thing I'm going to buy for it is the 4K version of Blade Runner. I actually, okay, this is so sad. I own Blade Runner in like how many formats do I own Blade Runner in? It's ridiculous. I think I have it. I had like 3 VHS versions of it. I had at least 3 versions on DVD. I had I had an HD DVD. Remember when Blu-ray first came out, and it was a big competition between Blu-ray and HD DVD. Xbox had the HD DVD, and PlayStation had Blu-ray. Guess who won? Yeah, I have Blade Runner in HD DVD, and I got a specialty box set that had. I don't think it's down here. Yeah, it's not down here. It had some toys with it. It was pretty cool. But yeah, I have it in that, and I have at least 2 versions in Blu-ray. Because they would release a version, and then they would do like a special edition version or something. It was ridiculous. I thought the company making Blu-ray drives canceled the drive. They're still making drives. They're still making drives and players. Twin Cam, you can absolutely buy new 4K players. It's just that they're not front and center as much anymore. One of the companies, I think Toshiba, stopped making them. Yeah. Tasty Whale, I have an HD DVD player for sale right now. Comes with 6 movies. Just needs an Xbox 360 to work. Same. I've got mine. I did not like the HD DVD format. I compared it. What I got. You got King Kong, the Peter Jackson King Kong, and I had Blade Runner. I forget what else I had. Yeah, I had a couple of others, and there were I did not like the delivery. It had nothing to do with my setup. It was just I did not like the picture. I did not like the sound. The DVD that was out was superior in every aspect. I did find out that HD DVD actually had a lower spec for the thing. Oh, Domenico said, I painted my personal interpretation of Tannhauser Gate. Oh, awesome. Oh, it's one of the subjects that I get when I do things like Jump Gate, the Jump Gate series. That's the closest in my mind that I get. Like that's kind of what I'm thinking in my mind, right? Edie, God, you gave a rundown. Yep, how Blade Runner bombed. Yep. It kind of did, right? Now seen as a classic. So yeah. We saw it. My dad took me to see Blade Runner. That one I was still like I needed a parental assist to get in to see it because my theater near us was just stupid like that. So anyway, it was fun. I did see that in the theater when it first came out, and I do remember that it left an impression on everybody in my friend group that saw it. Like they were like, "What did I just see? No idea." Pretty funny. All right. I'm just going to try to brighten up a couple of these spots here with a little brighter color or non-color, as the case would be. Yeah. I love Blade Runner. I have multiple DVD and Blu-ray sets. Yeah, there's a couple of movies. Blade Runner's one of them. I have a couple of movies where that's the case. Strangely enough, the David Lynch Dune movie is the other one that I kept buying in every format. And, I love the visuals. I love a lot of times on these movies, even if there may be problems with the story or something or the edit, there's something that prevents the movie from being absolutely great, and I think that in both cases, you could say that something prevented them from being great when they came out. The David Lynch Dune movie had some issues, obviously, and yeah. Anyhow, what do I have to do here? I need a different brush. I unfortunately I toasted one of my last brushes I was using last week. I forgot to clean it, and so it's just destroyed. Well, it's not destroyed, but it needs to sit overnight and get cleaned. Oh, I love David Lynch's Dune. Me too. I don't know if he personally saw it, but before he passed away, he was, he had his Instagram account, which was really cool. And at one point, the subject of Dune came up. He was never fond of it. He considered it a failure, and I just told him flat out. I said, "Hey, I liked it. It is one of my favorite movies, and I liked your version of it in spite of its obvious flaws." And it was one that I had heard he briefly considered doing a director's cut. Like I think the way he put it was he would never do a director's cut, but if he were forced to, that would be the one he would do a director's cut for. So there we are, which is unfortunate because there are the classic missing scenes of it really make it a lively movie, and I feel like that. Yeah, yeah, that's a tragedy. The classic is Dune. Yeah, the new one, visually beautiful, feels empty. Yeah, I struggle with that too. I feel like Denis Villeneuve's Dune is also going to fit in the category of movies that maybe aren't seen well. Oh wait, uh-oh. Did I lose the whole thing? Chat disconnected. Select. Okay, never mind. Okay, cool. Yeah, we were talking Dune. Lynch's Dune is good if I take myself out of the book. Yes, exactly. That's where I'm at as well. Had Sting in it, right? Yeah. David Lynch's Dune is just too condensed, like a Reader's Digest version of the book. Exactly, Raoul Duke. It needed another hour at least, and it still would have felt condensed. Edie says, I think films like Blade Runner are too deep for most people. Edie, I'm going to take issue with you on that and say that no, I think most people are too dumb for good movies. That's the way that should be stated. And people, especially people over 12 years old, need to work a little bit harder on their connection to the world, and then they would be able to enjoy movies like Blade Runner. And by the way, an 8-year-old can pick up on Blade Runner right now. It's not that complicated. It really isn't. Let's see. What else did I miss? Paid him. I got that one on there. Hey, everybody, this is fun. I would love to do a live viewing of either of these movies just so we could all talk about it at the same time. It'd be hilarious. Oh yes, and Patrick Stewart. Oh, Gurney Halleck. Yes. Yeah, I love. If you ever hear the story too, by the way, of how he ended up in, they had to replace the original Gurney Halleck actor, and David Lynch sent them out to get Patrick Stewart because he played this like really wild and haggard character in a play that they had seen, and he was well dressed up for it. But David Lynch had never seen Patrick Stewart in person. The sort of skinny bald bald actor, and yeah. So when he showed up to replace the guy, he was like, "Ugh." It was hilarious. And yes, I know it had Sting in it, which is awesome. Oh, it's so great. That movie had some fun things going for it. Boom. Oh, Edie says try to watch Lynch's Eraserhead. Couldn't make it past the 20-minute mark before I fell into a coma. So yeah, I don't know. Eraserhead. I appreciate its status as a great movie. It is not my personal favorite. I probably have seen as much Eraserhead as I care to see in my life. And Bob says, yeah, same goes for the new Dune, where he did with Chani in the second movie really pissed me up. I wasn't really yeah, I'm not really sure where he's planning on going with that, Houdini Bob. I just it's kind of like what, you just have to take yourself out of the book, right? In any of these movies, and realize you're watching an interpretation, which is sort of how I saw it, but yeah. Dune needs a Game of Thrones style series. Full agree. Yes, with the beauty and soundtrack of yes. I Raoul Duke. There's so much in the book that makes it good that would be absolutely. I agree. It absolutely needs to be a series, a mini series, right? Because even Denis Villeneuve's, if I'm getting his name right, he had to skip out on a lot of the things that absolutely make the book's narrative amazing, and he'll be the first one to say it too. They could do it like they do Foundation. Yep, exactly. Twin Camps says, I saw a racer-headed taxi driver on the same day when you were 15. Holy shit. That explains a lot about your personality, pal. No, I'm kidding. Who would do that to you? Who would take you to see a racerhead and taxi driver? I mean, oh my gosh. What are we eating tonight? Oh, we're having a bowl of ennui. Yes. Yeah, that's really cool. I love both of those. I love Taxi Driver. Yeah, like I said, I like Eraserhead for where it stands. I find it uncomfortable. Ojizan Obscura, Blade Runner, Alien, and Soldier are all in the same universe, right? Correct, and possibly Outland too. Which, if you ever get a chance to see, you will think absolutely this feels like it should be in. You know, I expected to see Wayland Yutani at Terrell Corporation notes in and stuff in Outland, which I just actually saw recently. That's a pretty fun one too. Boom. What a contrast to style, right? Exactly. Anyone see Knights of the Seven Kingdoms? I have not. I've heard good things. But yeah, poor Chani. Oh, seriously, right? Oh my gosh. If you've... For those of you that have read the books, I will not say. Back when your parents let you roam around London unsupervised. That's awesome. What a day. I mean, I was shown Taxi Driver by the same teacher that kind of used to bring in movies like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, thinking that they were relevant to social studies and government classes for very precarious reasons. I'd seen Patrick Stewart only in Dune and Next Gen. I remember too. I liked him so much in Dune that when the news of Next Generation had started trickling out and they said Patrick Stewart was going to play the captain, I'm like, oh, I am all in. Absolutely, yes. Oh, you did a great job of the Christmas Carol. Yep, exactly. You did it to ourselves. Early skate culture in the UK. Rock on. That's in my mind super freaking cool, actually. Yes. Anyhow, we are going to continue. I'm starting to add a couple of stars into this one. I'm having a lot of fun with this painting tonight. I think we're getting it into the ballpark of our three-headed monster. Oh dear, monsters are so annoying. Getting a little bit of our Marvin the Martian in on it, of course. Yes, that's cool. Bum bum bum. My access to HBO Max. We still have it. Yeah, that's right. I was going to do it. I am still in. All right. I can't watch anything new quite yet because I'm just starting season 7 of Deep Space Nine, and I'm committed to the finish. May the prophets reveal your true path and all of that. Yeah, there's some religion in Deep Space Nine too. The Bajorans. So yeah, didn't mean to jump the tracks on you everybody here, but that's like my I can't watch a new show until I've dealt with that. Yes, takes place about 90 years before Game of Thrones. Cool. I did see what was the other offshoot show? I'm just gonna forget the name of it right now because I'm kind of in the mode here. Wait, am I getting them confused? Yeah, because there's the most recent one, the Knights one, and then the Dragons one. The Dragons was the one I was thinking of. Yeah. Very cool. So yeah, if Dune had gotten that, you'd start to see some of the things in the book that were only even hinted at in the BBC production of Dune, the made-for-TV version from about 2000, 2001 or so, I think is what it was. Yeah. That one gets a little bit into the intrigue that was being faced by the Atreides all throughout the build-up, which is, I think, where the Villeneuve movies suffer a little bit is in the build-up to the attack and the Atreides' downfall. There was more to it than what they showed. Yeah. Anyway, and therein lies the fun in my mind, having read the books several times. Oh yeah, fun discussions. Actually, I haven't read God Emperor of Dune in probably 30 years, and I have a good copy of it on my shelf here. So I'm thinking of picking that up. I've read Children of Dune and Dune Messiah, the initial 3 canonical Dune books. I've read those a number of times, but not God Emperor of Dune. I think I only read that one twice. It's a little bit like trying to pick up. I don't know. I'm not going to go there. Yeah, there's a lot to them. So what I'm doing here is I'm kind of getting my canonical big stars in the painting here and getting them on the edges. Effing autocorrect. Yeah. You just rewatch the DS9 pilot. I remember when that aired, Andrew, I'm here. Dash. Sorry. Twin Camp 7. Yeah, I remember even more so than when The Next Generation first aired. There's something about the Deep Space Nine pilot that I was like, oh, this is on. You just kind of knew. I felt that I was in for a pretty epic show, and I think they delivered. Honestly, I'm getting the big stars in. I'm trying to do the Hubble stars here. Little magenta, 4 bangers, and there we go. Know what I mean about? What? That's hilarious. I love that. Hair is overrated. I'm getting some notes that my chat's getting unplugged, so I may be missing it. For me, God Emperor Dune was tough to get through. Yeah. It's a he goes off script for sure in God Emperor of Dune. You come through the first 3 Dune books, which is kind of like big adventure, big story, and then you get Worm in a throne room murdering his anyway, a lot of talking, let me tell you. Yeah, good times. Yeah, fun. So I have to sit back and take a look at this. I want to see how I'm feeling about this one. I feel like we're in Ghidra territory here. And I had to do a little bit more of the reds at the bottom just to give it that destruction and flame thing, right? Oh, yeah. Very much so. Taking a moment and looking it on over. So yeah, Deep Space Nine, and after that, I think Space 1999 was going to be next, but I'm willing to jump ship on it, and try something else. But yeah, this is me. What you're witnessing here with me going into 90s shows is just me deciding not to even raise my head up and look at the news. Dissociation station on our way. Alrighty, this is fun. I'm gonna pull this down here. I'm working on. I have a number of. This is what my paint palette ended up looking like. I've still All of these I could still use. I have not contaminated them with my media, which is great. So I'm going to be able to continue working on this and the other paintings. There we go. Very, very cool indeed. All righty. I am gonna, let's see, what am I gonna do with this one here? Bum, 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 bum. Night of the Seven Kingdoms is from the George R.R. Martin 3-novella Dunk and Egg. I have not read those. I read the core books to Game of Thrones, but not like the tertiary stuff. Bum, bum, bum. Alrighty, very cool. I've had a couple of moments where my chat got disconnected, and so let me know if you're getting anything bouncing. Looks great, thank you. I kind of want to. I do want to do the. I think we're gonna definitely do some stars. I think I'm onto that stage right now, doing some stars. Absolutely. Space 1999 had very realistic and believable space hardware design. I adore the Space 1999 ship design. Oh, and actually even like, you know, I love the set design too. I mean, come on, I was definitely on board for the 70s era fancy lights, lots of fluorescent lights and plastic furniture. Dunk and Egg, Calvin and Hobbes. Here we go. Yeah. Cool. I love it. I got sucked into Idris Elba and Hijack. I've heard Hijack is good too, but you know, I've never actually seen the show Castle that has Nathan Fillion in it, and now that I've been watching him showing up, I think I might have to track that down. I think Stephanie would like that one. So sometimes I jump the shark and go outside of science fiction. It happens. Alrighty, folks, I'm gonna get some stars onto this. Actually, before I do that, I gotta get a test article. Hang tight. Hold on. All right, my test article is a bunch of these little 3-inch. I have. No wait, these are 3 inches. Yeah, these are 3-inch squares versus the other. Let's see how this goes. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Boop. Oh, I'm getting some on there. I need a little thinner than that. Let me see about this. All right, we'll try this again. Okay, there we go. We're getting a few. Getting a couple of bigger ones. There we go. Oh, I love Calvin and Hobbes. Absolutely. I think that one is probably top of the heap for me in terms of, I mean, there's a lot of great comic strips the same way there's a lot of great movies, but yeah, that's of the great ones, that is definitely one. Alrighty, folks, here we go. I'm gonna see if I can get us a couple of stars on here, and hopefully not too many. Boop, there, get a couple there. There we go. There we are. They're real small. There's some. Get some down here. And that's, oh, that's too many on that side, but we'll work it out. Try at the top here. There we go. Cool. No. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We got it. It's fine. There we go. Got a few more stars in there. I think that worked out good. I think we got a few. Not too horrible. There we go. The stars upon ours. Kind of want some in this corner up here too. It's funny when I do this, all of my equipment around here gets a new layer of stars. Watch the finger. Ha 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 ha. Nah, just a little bit of non-solvent medium and titanium white. I know. I always end up with some paint on my hands. It never fails. There we go. Cool. Good times. Let me grab a little bit of... I need a good signature color here. So let me grab a little bit of that. There we go. I think this will work out pretty well. This lots of blues with cadmium red is turning into sort of a thing for me here. So let me get the old signature on. Signaturino. There we go. Thank you, Edie. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm having a good time with this, and I'm enjoying this quite a bit. We are back, everyone. We are back, and I present to you. I present to you the next in our series of the Pillars of Destruction, Ghidra. This one and the other one are on my get list. Awesome, awesome. I think that we're gonna have to arrange some prints, Houdini Bob, because the other one got snagged. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've got to work on some of them here. So for these, I will probably do a run of prints on the side. I'm a mathematician because even physicists need heroes. Exactly. I was rather shocked to learn that one of our daughters is considering a degree in mathematics, and I told her. She asked me what she thought about going down that field. She's very good at it. She's so good at it. My response was, I'm impressed that anybody with my genetics would even remotely consider going down that path. So you have my blessing, absolutely. Math is wizard language. Yes, it is. It totally is. Oh, what was the book, Neil Stevenson, Anathem, which I feel like that, it's built around the notion of there being kind of these enclaves of people maintaining technology and culture, sort of like not King David's spaceship, Canticle for Leibowitz. Yes. Very cool. Yeah, that's a whole nother area I would love to sort of explore into and do some paintings from. Yeah. She must be a brain. Always a good thing. I don't know. She didn't get it from me. No. She's also a very good artist, so she does have some of that. Who did about I speak COBOL and Fortran 4? I tell ya, my CAD class back in college, CAD computer aided design, was so hardcore they made us do design work in Fortran. That was exciting. So yeah. Looks good. Thank you. And Alan Bradley ladder logic. Fantastic. Yeah, I have actually done computer graphics using Fortran code. It was not my favorite thing to do at all, but it was fun creating graphics the way they created them for 2001: A Space Odyssey. Yeah. Awesome. I think this week, folks, this is going to be the extent of it. My newest addition to the Pillars of Destruction. I will be putting this up. We're going to have a little update on the store here. I will tell you, the folks on Patreon, they get the updates first. I missed last week. I'm gonna be setting that up there. So yeah, there we go. Fun times, everyone. Yeah, your son has a degree in math and comp sci. That's right. I remember that. That was very, very cool. Very impressed. I never got past basic. Oh yeah, we did basic and little COBOL, little Pascal. Did some of that, Fortran, and of course all the JavaScript flavors beyond and into the 21st century. Loved Anathem. I did too. I feel like, boy, that Anathem I'd love to see. That would definitely be a miniseries. You would need probably a 4-season miniseries to get through that. I had to know Hollerith code. Oh my gosh. Now you're really talking like in the hills above Gondor. Yes. Holy smokes. Start with COBOL. TwinCam 7 says switch to C as soon as I could. Well, I think everybody else did as well, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So it looks like I kept most of the paint off my hands except at the very very end, which is a good sign. I took advanced calculus and also differential equations in college. I don't remember any of it. Yeah, that's I pushed through it. I really did. Python is the way. Yes. Cobalt is laborious, very much so. Yes. It's funny. I had like this peak where I was working with all of these languages, then and at the end of my career, like leveled off into like CSS, CSS and JavaScript. This is awesome. Well, we touched on a lot of things tonight. This is fantastic. I've got some great show recommendations. Thank you all so much. This has been fun. I might do. I'm probably gonna. We're gonna wait on the Space Frog one. I'm gonna wrap things up for the week. I do appreciate you all being along here. For those of you on Patreon, we'll be back on Sunday. We're gonna do our live one on Sunday, and yeah, gonna be a good time. Thank you all for joining us, and of course we'll be here next Friday as well. And we'll have a little bit of an update on the web store as soon as I get that organized. Edie says I have a great head of hair. Thank you so much. Watch your back. I know, right? I do it just because I still can. Thank you. Yeah, I have retained the hair. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. We're going to leave you with the outro, and we will catch you all next week. Stay safe. Take care of each other. We'll get through this together. Cheers, everyone. All right, so I've taken my white paint with my little fan brush here, and let's just see how crazy this goes. This is where I throw paint everywhere. That just kind of gives it an air of legitimacy that it doesn't deserve. You know? I have Bob Ross the shit out of this painting.